Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. Just managed to get to the salvation of Act 2, and managed to get even a slightly better salvation ending too, because it just seemed more interesting. You can see just some of the interesting art pieces of unconvincing and salvation, and the legend card. Obviously, I have to try and do the other routes, but we're going to be going on to Act 3, Let the Dust Become Us. So, let's continue, shall we? So, I'm getting the heck out of here. My two hate sprites are packing up and leaving. Our Krisamis are decided that their family is more important than the cause. Volume 3, Lest the Dust Become Us. This route contains content warnings for a depiction and discussion of state institutional violence, depiction and discussion of death, depiction of blood, being stalked and hunted. And the route has action sequence. So basically, quick time events. Player discretion is advised. Volume and several others use action sequence which might not function on low-end machines. Less than 8 GB of RAM, 2 processor cores, integrated video cards. Would you like to skip the interactive portion of these sequences? You can also do this if you find these sequences unresponsive or overly challenging. This option can be turned off and on from the options at any time. Do you want to skip performance-intensive action sequences? No, let me play them, it's fun. Ooh, already more things. Outward. Maybe some of us didn't want to be the fucking military commander when we grew up. You ever like someone? Just know how to tell them. No matter what happens, I would be with my mates. Okay. Back to the yeah. Trending entertainment. GrubTube underestimates services. Updates terms of service, ensure more restrictive usage requirements, and enforces mandatory imperial propaganda. Trending in sports, Not My Pusher, Hivesoft, Hegemony, Pusher, Zephyros, Trevor, Fleas, Athlete. Following revelation of morality connection to the rebel underground. My Fleet Stories, finding your future into the outstanding fleet trending in your careers. The trip down from Institutia to Arturia is a bumpy one, and you're starting to feel a little bit more sick to your stomach, but it's also giving you a chance to be alone with your thoughts for the first time in a while now. It's not that it doesn't make sense that things would have changed in the past few years, it's just that you weren't ready for the way things have changed. You weren't ready to see how much your friends are really hurting, for the realization that they were all condemned to an inescapable fate before, and now that fate has come to pass. You don't like thinking like this, but you're having a hard time remaining optimistic after what's happened on Institutia, after the way that you were forced to confront the reality of the system on a scale that you couldn't even imagine. Right now, you're ready to settle in and figure out what's happening down on Arturia. Surely some of your friends will still be around. You figure you can find the Jave caverns easily enough, and then go from there. It's not a good plan, you admit, but it's all you got. Still, you can't help feeling that a little bit nervous about the whole thing. You made a promise to Tizra, a promise you made knowing full well that you would have no guaranteed your ability to keep it. What if you show up and Desra doesn't want to come with you? What if, like Tezra, her instincts are to stay behind and try and make things better? Are you going to be able to convince her that she needs to change her mind? What's going to happen if she stays? What are you going to tell Tezra? Warning, flashing lights to those that are sensitive. The good news that you don't have to keep worrying about the far-reaching consequences of your action much longer. The bad news is that it's...
Collision alert.
The bad news is that because it's the collision proximity alert is going off, you struggle to find some control of the pod. It really doesn't seem like the thing it was designed for manual flight. But seems like a serious oversight in retrospect. You need to speak to the manufacturer if you get out of this alive.
Collision alert.
Well, it looks like you're going to be hitting Arterias a little bit earlier than expected. Hitting, in the case of and it gets cut off. Well, at least you aren't dead. The world swims in front of you, coming in and out of focus. All around you, the escape pod's view screens blare an incoherent static at you, and in your head is throbbing with pain where it's collided with the side of your seats. Let's say this much about quality of Imperial tech. The hatch on the escape pod only came off a little bit when you landed on the planet. And you're alive, which wins this experience of an extra star on Grelp or whatever the equivalent vaguely referential analog to human experiences. It doesn't seem like anything on you is broken or misplaced, and only bleeding a little bit, but it would probably be a good idea to try and get out of the escape pod before it catches fire or something. Struggling against the safety restraints, you manage to pull yourself free and locate the emergency release for the door. Pull the lever down, and the door blasts off its hinges and lands nearby. Immediately, the lights scream into the escape pod, flooding its dim interior. You pull the lever down immediately, and the door blasts off its hinges and lands nearby. Immediately, light streams into the escape pod, flooding the dim interior. If you didn't notice, there was a slight cut there. Okay, well, you're definitely on Ontario. That's good, at least. For a second, you were worried about that you were going to land on some kind of weird spaceship or something. The bad news is, you can already see the dawn light, and it won't be very long before the light of Ontario sun gets to be too much for your sensitive non-rainbow drinker skin. Rhodey might be fashionable and smell faintly of sandalwood, but it's not even close to keep you safe when the sunlight hits you in full effect. With a groan, you pull yourself up out of the hatch, landing softly on the ground. A wide swath of freshly turned dirt traces from where your pod landed, and you figure you'll probably just kind of start walking in that direction and see what happens. Okay, this is interesting. For some reason, things look different. Not sure exactly how to put it in words, but everything just has a strangely symbolic vibe to it now. Hey, you. Yeah, you. The person who's playing the game. I know this probably isn't what you're expecting from a Ren Pie game, but it's pretty intuitive. You can just still use your mouse and point to click your way around. You can use the keyboard arrows too. If you got any questions, there's a help section you can check out. Blink, you must have spaced out there for a second. Keep wasting time like this. Daylight is coming. So I have to use... Okay, so... Point and click. Okay. Not far away, I can see series of low walls made of some kind of pinkish stone. You could probably use those for a shelter and pinch when the night pinch. Good to know. Still it's not clear where exactly you are on Ontario. Now I mentioned you're an expert, but you did spend a few months here. Also, you're pretty sure you could set the escape pod coordinates correctly. By right, you should have landed within walking distance of the J cabin. But this doesn't look right at all. For one thing, you don't remember it being so barren. It almost resembles the area around Skylar's ranch, but something is subtly off about it. So I guess... Really starting now. The sun's starting to break the full over horizon. You need to find shelter quickly before you end up frying. Wait a minute. Warning, quick time events, possible blood. Something feels wrong. I'm kind of curious on what happens if I don't move. Feel a quick punch in your chest in a half a second before the sound of a gunshot reaches your ears. Didn't you read something about the speed of sound? Council, see you now. What's going on? Don't remember, do you? Not sure what she's talking about, but there's a strange pricking sensation in the back of your mind. Feel like you've been here before, like you've had the same basic conversation. It's because you have. Several times, as a matter of fact. Now why can't you remember? What's the point of all this? What's the point of going back, point of the journey that you're on if you're just going to loop back and again anyway, even though you don't even know how to control it? Your mind races, there's a handful, hundreds of things flashing in front of you all at once. It's happening to my friends. It's not just your individual problems, it's not just your individual problems, it's not anyone's individual problems. Ontario, the Emperor, all of it. It's a system your friends are caught up in that. No amount of friendship or kindness can change that. Of course, that's why you're here to save them. Sure, sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes escape is the best option, but it's not always what's going to be what everyone wants. Scratcher's right about something. You exist in one branch of many the river of time, but he was very wrong about the implications of it. If you remember that just one thing, let it be this. You always have a choice right up until the moment you made it. Yeah. Wait a minute, move. There's something past the inches from your hand and stumble back and fall over into the dusty ground. You realize several important key details all at once. 1. You aren't dead. 2. You're closing your eyes so tightly it hurts. 3. Someone's shooting at you. I'm not sure where, but someone is definitely shooting at you. Want to see what happens when the timer runs out, because based on their thing.
You know what? If you're just gonna stand there and stare at me, maybe do it somewhere else. I've got a lot on my mind, and I don't need this right now.
Hey, but you're just about to say something that would easily make up her mind, says
Look,
says.
I know.
And then, so yeah, oh. So I was kind of curious if there's a different so yeah, 3. Someone's shooting at you. You're definitely not sure where, but someone is definitely shooting at you. From the sound of the gunfire, it seems like a sniper is somewhere down toward the large, ominous-looking series of buildings down in the distance. You don't remember any of this from the last time you were on Materia. Fuck, shit. This is really solidly in the bad things category. Not only being shot at, but the sun is just about to the point where it's going to start really hurting. You spot behind the stone wall proves just a little bit of shelter and cover, but it's not going to last very long. Either you're going to have to fry on the sun, or they're going to get an angle on you and shoot you. Neither of those is a great outcome. Oh, try again. If I move. Okay, shit. You can see a series wall leading toward the base in the distance, and then looks like a terrain's getting rough and rocky. Think that maybe there's a chance that if you can make it a little bit further down, there might actually be somewhere you can hide and won't die. Warning, action sequence, and that's warning for me. And if you're basically really being honest with yourself, not dying is basically the only thing on your mind right now. Can't stay in one place for too long. If you do that, the sniper will get you for sure. But if you stay too long in the sunlight, you're gonna fry. So yeah, it basically sucks all around. Get around the rock! Stop for a second to try and catch your breath. Really wish you'd taken cells up on more of those workout offers. Try it really would come in handy right now. This is really getting out of hand. The news is you can see some kind of cave up ahead. You can get there just being alive. To the rock. To the other rock. Stop for a second to try and catch your breath again. There's something up ahead, maybe another 50 yards down. You just need to make sure you survive to make it. No big deal, it's fine. Make it right down. Come on, down. A mauve cave yawns right in front of you, the promise of safe haven. You just have to make it a few more feet. Come on. Make it down. Rush up to the mouth of the cave and dash forward, taking the last few feet in the air as you dive straight in. The sound of the sniper bullets hitting the ground next to you barely registers as you tumble headlong into the rocky slope of the cave. After a series of painful tumbles, you wind up laying on the floor of a dark cave. Well, this kind of sucks, but then again, you're not gonna lie, this is pretty on brand for as far as things have been going lately. At least down here, you're safe from material, sunlight, and the sniper fire. Right now, that's all the best you can hope for. So you settle in to wait for nightfall and hope that things will improve once the sun goes down.
I'm telling you, ain't a thing out here.
Oh, I got more things. Singles now number 5 on the charts and on Spotify. Spotify, she Miss Fox mom so much. I hope she's doing okay. Nothing that I can see. Wish I could have done a collab with Chixie, but it ain't in the cards. Zebra. Hey, selling ushers maybe pay your tab. Wouldn't want legend covers to cut the wind where you are, right? Love the dynamic between Bex Rogers and the Special Dean and Gorf Court, and those three would make a hell of a quadrant triangle.
Well, then you can shut the fuck up. We'll finish looking around and then we can go back in. I swear you like to bitch so much, I just want to shut your mouth.
I'll bet you do.
You didn't even notice when you fell asleep. Turns out the suffering of intense and constant trauma left you more than a little bit exhausted. The good news is it's dark outside and you recognize the voices you can hear outside the cave. Stella and Kanya will be able to help you out. They might have been a little annoyed the last time, but at least Skylar seemed worried about you. You just pop out and figure out where on Ontario you are, and then figure out how to get to the Jade Cabins from here. Oh shit, something tells you you're not on Ontario.
What in the Empress's name is wrong with you coming back here like this? I thought I was clear that it's not safe for you to be here.
Hey, it's Skylar, you wave cheerily, although the response is a somewhat frothy glare. Don't worry about it, you're not even on the kill list anymore.
You absolute idiot. Do you have any idea where you are?
No. Shake your head. You kinda thought you were back on Ontario, but it seems kinda like something went wrong. You appear to be on some kind of moon, maybe? Honestly, it's pretty similar to Ontario.
You're on an Alternian army training satellite.
What now? Skylar sighs and rolls her eyes.
It's like a big fake moon designed to simulate combat conditions found on the frontier worlds.
You're next to an active army base, you dumbass. Do you know what they'll do when they find you?
She laughs and you shrug. You're not really sure, honestly. All of a sudden, Konya's face softens.
I'm sorry about them shooting at you. It happens sometimes.
Oh yeah, if you had an Imperial cargo for every time someone shot you, you'd probably have at least 10 Imperial cargoes.
That's not a lot at all. That analogy sucks.
Okay, but now none of that stuff is important. What is important is that you know how to get them away from this planet. Well, maybe not exactly right this second, but you have a general plan for getting everyone back somewhere safe.
Yeah, well, what if some of us don't want to be safe? You ever stop to consider how we really feel?
Stop it, Connell. You're being a bulge eater.
You fucking wish.
Okay, this pitch dynamic between the two of them is super great and not at all uncomfortable in the slightest, but aren't they interested in hearing more about your awesome plan?
You're not gonna leave, are you?
No. Plus, even if you wanted to, which you don't think you physically could. Skylar sighs heavily and shakes her head.
Fine. We're going back to the barracks. If you want to come, go for it.
Just keep your head down. Anyone gets suspicious, you're gonna look stupid. Also, you'll get shot.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a probably good plan.
We're heading back now. Don't fall behind.
I'm gonna use my arrow keys for this. Yeah, you're pretty sure you don't want to be out here by yourself.
Why'd you actually come back anyway?
Already explained this, sir. You want to help your friends. Exactly.
What makes you think we need help?
She kidding? Look at this place.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is Metal Gear Friendship Simulator. As you're walking, Skylar pulls you off to the side quickly, and she looks around to check to make sure no one's close enough to hear what she's about to say.
Look, I know she's being a bitch right now, but there's a reason for it.
Was she being a bitch? You hadn't noticed.
Sure. In a way, she's just been upset lately because of her luces. They took her away to start training her for military operations.
Wait, what? Why would they do that?
Because Connell's Lucis is really good at the kind of shit they need. Is that enough of a reason?
Well, sure, but also has she considered, getting the fuck out of here? Skylar eyes you carefully and scanning up and down.
I feel like you're getting ahead of yourself. Besides, Connell doesn't want anything to do with that. Let's go.
After walking for what feels like an absurdly long time, you finally make your way inside the perimeter of the army base. Sure enough, the other trolls just kind of ignore you. You're guessing they've seen Stranger Things. You're a little worried that someone might see the cerulean symbol on your chest and have additional questions, so you try your best to say
Okay, you fucks. We're here. By the way, I heard what you said about my Lucis. Maybe try minding your own business instead of worrying about mine.
So it's Lucis, that's how it's pronounced. Konya streaks off to the low building nearby that you assume is some kind of barracks. Well, now you're feeling pretty embarrassed.
Come on, let's go.
Skylar starts to walk around toward the barracks when you stop her. Well, wait a minute, Konya seems pretty annoyed with you and you're not sure you're wise to disturb her.
I'm going in to set my ass down after being on day shift. You want to stay out here until one of the drones finds you? Be my guest.
Oh shit, yeah, drones. Your mind flashes back to the low, heavy sound when you first ran into Skylar and Konya during your whirlwind tour, but maybe you don't actually want to wait to find out what that was. Inside the building, you realize that you've been here before when you first saw Skylar and Konya when you came back to Arteria. Series of bunks like in rows, it doesn't escape your notice that these bunks are not replicants.
Yeah, you think we rate raccoons here in the army? You're out of your mind.
Konya acknowledges the two of you with an angry nod.
So you didn't learn how to leave people alone?
It's very interesting the very different art styles between the two of them. This one's more of a flat, artistic choice, while this one seems more fleshed out, if that makes sense.
Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been talking about your Lucis. I just wanted them to understand where you're coming from.
Well, I'm doing fucking fine. That's where I'm coming from, okay?
Seems like it might be charitably described as a complete lie. Without another word, Konya halts and turns to walk out of the barracks.
I don't need to be here. I'm going out for a walk.
She makes sure to slam the door on the way out. Oh shit. Stay and talk with Skylar. You just stand there as Konya storms out of the barracks and looks silly, something you become increasingly adept at as time goes on. Next to you, Skylar shrugs and turns to walk toward her bunk.
Fuck it. She'll be back soon enough.
She sits down and the noise of the cavernous creaks in the still quiet of the barracks. Sitting down, Skylar's eyes you. Skylar's about eye level with you now. She frowns.
So, we never really got to talking much before, did we?
Oh yeah, of course. You got a lot to tell her. So much to catch her up on. You had powers, and you lost your powers, and you helped with a show try on crashing her skate pod. Been really busy lately.
I guess you have, huh?
She doesn't really seem to want to talk about the sense of general catching up. Maybe there's something specific she wants to talk to you about?
Maybe. It's just that you showing up again got me thinking a bit.
She glances about the barracks never say. There's a couple of the trolls sitting or lying down on cots, mostly keeping to themselves in the corner. Mayor Bronzebuzz is engaged in somewhat heated discussion about arena stickball. You can't help but notice that they are all looking a little... What's a nice way to say gaunt? Guessing Ontarian's army isn't great on, feeding people properly. Sure, you may say the fresh air will do you good. Skylar makes sure to check carefully for anyone else before she leans in to talk to you again, and now her voice has a sense of urgency to it.
When you showed up before, you said you were here to get us out. Is that the honest truth?
Well, the thing about it is you really did mean it, but there's been a little bit of an issue with your powers, and you know.
That's the other thing. How'd you just appear in front of us like that? Ain't no blood color has those kind of powers.
It's not really a blood thing as so much as, you're not actually sure what your powers do. Problem is, you don't have them anymore. Also, an immensely powerful neo-god might be a little ticked off that you're back. You're not sure that last one he hasn't showed up lately, but you get the lingering sense that he's out there watching you.
Sounds like your plate's been heaped pretty full, but look, I got something to ask you. Can you keep a secret?
I'm going to say something cheery and enthusiastic to this, but the look on her face suggests that maybe this wouldn't be appropriate. Instead, you nod silently.
Good. Thing is, I've been thinking a bit about how to get out of here already.
That sounds actually pretty dangerous given what you've seen so far.
Yeah, well, that's why I ain't exactly been advertising the fact. Not even Connell knows. When I came here, I thought maybe it'd be fun.
She laughs, and you carefully mention the fact that the idea of seeing anything related to this as potentially fun seems a little bit unbelievable.
You don't get it. I was raised up on all the old adventure shows. Beck Rogers, Flash Gordon, all the rest. They always made it sound like the army could be this big adventure. Fighting pirates out in deep space, battling horrible aliens that want to conquer Alternia. And I guess a part of me knew that maybe that wasn't all the way true, but I figured maybe it's at least most of the way true.
She shrugs and her eyes turn downward. You feel a little stabbing sensation in your heart.
Then I get here and...
She waves her hand around, pointing at the buildings looming up around
It's
you.
not what I expected. Worse than that. They're fucking monsters.
I don't really see how she couldn't see that to begin with. Skylar glares at you.
Easy for you to say. You didn't see the rustlers coming every day to try and take everything that mattered to you. And every video serial you could get your hands on, saying the army was there to protect folk like you. You sit with that long enough as a wriggler, it's all you know.
But what about all the culling? What about the brutality?
So what? It's like that for everyone. Just the way things are here. But this was a chance to maybe protect people from it. Just a little bit.
She leans back, throwing her face into a shadow cast by the building. You can't quite tell, but it looks like she's starting to cry.
Look, I ain't got time for this right now, okay? We can talk on it later.
Quietly, Skylar pushes her away, lounging you back into the barracks. Her head's bent low, and you can't help but worry about her. She really doesn't seem to want to be here, but you're getting the distinct sense that she feels completely trapped by it. Stand there for a few minutes before you catch sight of the annoyed-looking Konya storming toward the building. You're about to ask her what's wrong, but one glare from her is enough to kill the idea where it stands. Instead, you watch as she stomps past you and slams away inside the barracks. Cautiously, you push open the door to the barracks, and you're pleasantly surprised to see that no one is currently being attacked by anyone. Instead, Konya is sitting on the bed next to Skylar, grumbling to herself and balling up her face.
It isn't fair. You wouldn't even tell me why I can't see her.
Okay, well, maybe they're doing some kind of special training or something? You ain't past qualification yet.
I know that. That doesn't make it suck less.
Walk up casually up to the two of them and wave in an equally casual way. Just very casual all around.
You can always go back later. It's not like you're never gonna see her again.
Well, Konya huffs at this, but she doesn't say anything. Finally, she nods and looks from Skylar over to you.
Okay, fine. I can wait. She's probably just gonna get some food and they'll take her out for training. I see them on the parade ground sometimes.
Smile spreads over her face, and you'll be damned if this isn't the most heartwarming thing to come out of this generally soul-crushing experience that has to be on a Terra's Imperial system the last few days. It's almost enough to make you forget, everything else. Your time to reflect on this is cut somewhat short, however, because the door of the barracks bangs open, revealing a panicked bronzeblood with a mouth something that looks a lot like the word inspection, before hastily running to her bunk to straighten things out.
Fuck.
Fuck?
You need to get out.
Yeah, she said that before, but you already addressed
I mean, you need to get out of the barracks. There's a commander coming through, or something. You get found here, you're fucking dead.
Where are you supposed to?
Don't care, go out the back.
Yeah, you should probably go now. Yeah, you know what? There's something about this whole situation that feels not great. Down the word, you quickly rush toward the back entrance of the barracks. Behind you, you can hear the flurry of activity as the bronze and olive bloods rush to stow their equipment and fix their bunks. Quickly slip out the back door and lean against the side of the building. Inside, you can hear the bang of the barracks door slamming open. Next, you hear, it makes no sense, a familiar face. Atreya?
Officer on deck.
Hear the overwhelming urge to run back into the barracks. You know this person. You can maybe reason her through. Maybe explain the situation to Bonnie's mom. Maybe even talk to her about getting out of this place and down to Eteria. But something inside you tells you this isn't the right course of action. There's something else that's going on. There's something else with her. Someone you don't want to meet just yet. You shiver, and you don't know how to any of this yet. Quickly, you head for the parade grounds, away from the barracks, away from the ominous sense of wrongness that's creeping in over everything. What was it that Skylar said to you? That they were play acting for the real thing on Eteria? Is this something that you said to you? Getting confused. Your head feels fuzzy. You don't feel so well.
Hey! Hey, you! Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Draw the short straw to go talk to the quartermaster. End up finding this idiot passed out in the middle of the base. Makes perfect sense to me.
Wait, is that... RIC?
That is my name. Congratulations. You've managed to retain a functional understanding of your acquaintances.
Isn't this the cleaning lady? Doesn't she mean best friend?
Don't push it. What the hell are you doing here?
Was not expecting this style of at least hair/face. Wait a second, you're surprised she actually recognizes you. After all, you only spent a little bit of time together before. It seemed like she was a lot more interested in making eyes at Folkia than anything else.
Of course I remember you. It's the spindly arms.
Oh, is it that really your most memorable trait?
Don't be stupid. Of course not. You're a fucking alien. You honestly thought I'd just forget about that?
I like your voice. Your voice is fitting. Oh, yeah.
Really? What are you doing here?
Currently, hiding from my surprise high blood inspection. You think? You're a little unclear on the specifics, but you feel like it would be a bad idea to hang around Bronze and Silver Barracks.
Well, come on. I'll show you the Rust Barracks.
She motions a hand and follow after, keeping close in case there's some other crazy thing happens.
You mind telling me how you even ended up here? I never could figure out what happened to you. Then, I heard something about an alien who got pulled from the cull lists a half cycle ago.
I'm guessing cycles started something today. So that just starts stirring up again. That's so fucking good, I guess. And anyone around Everton, you might want to rest your asses. Hey, Bedrocks, you sing again? Can you stop counting this account? Whoever's running this phone block. Count whoever's running this phone block. Not that. Wait, Whoever's running block the book. Not that fucking hard. That's interesting, so... That's kind of interesting that... Yeah, so Ascension, like after the Ascension, it switched over to Beck Roger stuff. Okay. Kind of a long story, and you have a lot of cool alien powers now. Well, you had a lot more cool alien powers, but different, much less cool alien took them away. That's the short version. I bet another Silver Barracks that's basically identical to the ones that Skylar and Connie live in, except that this one has a bunch of Rustbloods milling around chatting with each other, eating. Marlene seems to bat an eye when you show up. A couple of soldiers wave to Marcy, who returns the gesture, but mostly just ignore you.
Yeah, folks around here are good at ignoring weird stuff. It's easier that way.
Yep. And with that, I think I'm actually going to save here and return to the main menu. With that, I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. May the stars forever guide your path, forever might lead you into the future. Bye-bye, everybody.